So what if the history you've been taught is just plain wrong? Today we're diving into the work of a group called Wisdom Synergy. Their tagline is pretty provocative, where his story meets mystery. And yeah, their whole mission is to challenge the official version of the past we all think we know. Right out of the gate, they throw down the gauntlet with this question. You see, this isn't just about filling in a few gaps in our knowledge. No, they're asking if the entire timeline we learned in school has been intentionally fabricated. That's a pretty radical place to start, right? So who is behind all this? It's a group called Wisdom Synergy, and their mission, in their own words, is to deconstruct what they call the fabricated mainstream narrative. They really believe that the history we're told is a deliberate fiction, and they're trying to dig up the truth buried underneath it all. Okay, so how do you even begin to challenge all of recorded history? It's a huge task. Let's take a look at their first line of attack. They really don't pull any punches. This statement is basically their battle cry. It's not about making a few minor corrections here and there, it's about tearing the whole structure down. It's a truly confrontational stance. Their first major piece of evidence suggests that key parts of our history weren't just lost, they were burned away. They're making the case that there's an agenda of erasure hidden in the smoke and flames of the past. Their theory is this: our history is absolutely littered with suspicious fires. I mean, think about it. Libraries, archives, ancient knowledge centers. They argue it's just way too much of a coincidence that the very places holding humanity's most precious records just keep going up in smoke. They point to what they see as a really disturbing pattern. These fires always seem to hit our most important knowledge centers. They even make you re-examine events like the Great Fire of Rome. You know, the story says Nero fiddled while the city burned, but they ask a totally different question. What if these fires were intentional? What if they were literal erasers of truth? So they force you to ask the question, right? Are all of these catastrophic fires throughout history just a really, really long string of bad luck? Or are we looking at a deliberate agenda to keep us all in the dark? And this, right here, is the core of their entire investigation. Because if history is being intentionally destroyed, you have to ask the most important question of all. Who benefits when all that knowledge just disappears? Okay, so erasing the past is one thing, but what about hijacking it? Their next point argues that powerful ancient symbols haven't just been forgotten, they've been intentionally corrupted. And their prime example is one of the most loaded symbols you can possibly imagine, the swastika. Now, before its modern association, it was a sacred symbol for cultures all over the globe for thousands of years. Wisdom Synergy claims that its original positive meaning was deliberately hijacked and demonized. I mean, just look at this stark contrast. On one side, you've got the ancient view, a sacred symbol of life, good fortune, and rebirth seen all around the world. And on the other, the modern view, a weaponized mark of pure evil. They argue this didn't just happen by accident. This was a deliberate hijacking of meaning. So what does a hijacked symbol have to do with suspicious fires and a fake timeline? Well, this is where their theory goes from just historical revision to something much more cosmic. They want us to look past that modern, ugly association for a second and just ask, what if this symbol represents something more? What if its demonization was specifically meant to hide a deeper truth? And here's their incredible answer. They propose that the symbol is actually a cosmic reminder of who we truly are, some fundamental truth about our very existence that someone, somewhere, desperately wanted to bury. So here's how they connect the dots. They start with the symbol's ancient, sacred status. Then, they link its meaning to cycles of rebirth. But here's the huge leap. They believe it doesn't just represent spiritual rebirth, but literal, historical resets, these massive, cataclysmic events that periodically wipe the slate of civilization clean, forcing us to start all over again. So, after laying out this absolutely massive theory, what's their next step? Well, they're already getting ready to go even deeper. Yeah, this isn't just a collection of random blog posts. They are doubling down. They're actually launching a whole new series called Grim Dominion to explore these ideas of cosmic resets and lost history even further. And so, that leaves us with the fundamental question that's driving their entire worldview.
Is time a straight line, just moving from past to future? Or are we all trapped in a cycle of rebirth, maybe doomed to repeat a history that has been deliberately erased from our memory?